my sister and I were adopted from the orphanage. My sister chose the wealthy and influential family of the Crown Prince of the capital, but the Crown Prince had a strange personality and tormented her every day. As for me, I chose the ordinary Xie family. Although their wealth and influence were far less than that of the Crown Prince's family, they treated me extremely well. The young master of the Xie family later became a rising business tycoon, married me, and gave me a life full of happiness. My sister was so jealous that she went crazy and secretly strangled me to death. When I opened my eyes again, my sister didn't hesitate to steal the life I had lived and chose the Xie family. Little sister, it's your turn to be tormented this time. I almost laughed out loud. Does she really think the young master of the Xie family is a good catch? I have been reborn on the day my sister Juno Lin and I were adopted. Brother, I am well behaved, sensible, and can do housework. Please adopt me. Beside me, Juno Lin grabbed the hand of the young master of the Xie family, Troy Xie. So she has been reborn too. Little girl, didn't you just say you liked our home? A noblewoman spoke up. She is the mother of Zane Pei, the crown prince of the capital's elite circle. Zane Pei himself did not come. Suddenly, I don't like your family anymore. Is that not allowed? After saying this, Juno Lin hid behind Troy Xie. Mother Pei was somewhat annoyed. Someone as fickle-minded as you isn't worthy of entering our Pei family. Then, she looked at me gently. Sweetie, come with me. We have a brother at home too. I nodded and reached out my hand. Juno Lin beside us was beaming with satisfaction. She seemed very pleased with my reaction, but she doesn't know. Compared to the eccentric young master, I'm more afraid of the snake-like Troy Xie. In my previous life, I desperately wanted to get rid of him. In this life, she actually did me a favor. Walking to the door with Aunt Pei, she went to get the car. At that moment, Juno Lin suddenly walked over to me, her eyes filled with contempt. Little sister, it's your turn to be tormented now. I ignored her, because I felt that her behavior at that moment was just like a clown. She thought this was a new beginning. But she didn't realize that she had jumped from one fire pit into another, even more dangerous one. After I was taken into the Pei family, Mrs. Pei arranged a special room for me and hired various private tutors to train me in piano, dance, music, and more. She said, Sweetie, to be honest with you, the reason I adopted a daughter was to find a suitable daughter-in-law. You need to work hard now. In a month, Zane will return to the country. If he takes a liking to you, your life will be much easier from then on. After all, the entire Pei family belongs to him. In the previous life, Zane Pei did not take a liking to Juno Lin. So her life was very difficult. I dare not hope that the aloof and noble young master would take a liking to me. I can only use other methods to help myself. A month later, the Pei family hosted a grand banquet. It was to celebrate Zane Pei's return to the country. Many noble families were invited, and the Xie family also attended due to their collaboration with the Pei family. Juno Lin spotted me at once and walked toward me step by step in a white princess dress. Sister, today will be the most humiliating moment of your life. In the previous life, this banquet was her first meeting with Zane Pei. At first glance, Zane Pei frowned upon seeing her. Then, in front of everyone, he told her to get lost. She was shamelessly clinging to Zane Pei at the time, claiming to be his future wife. Zane Pei kicked her away without hesitation. I had also been reborn, so knowing this outcome in advance, I had already prepared a way out for myself. Juno Lin thought I would meet the same fate as in her previous life, but I'm afraid I'm going to disappoint her. Just as Zane Pei was about to enter, I blocked him in the room. This was the first time I met him. He was a full head taller than me, with a strikingly handsome face that was completely indifferent. TSK. He really is hard to approach. I took out a proposal and handed it to him. I know you have a new project and don't know how to operate it. This is my proposal, and I guarantee it will be profitable. I grew up in an orphanage since childhood. Although I didn't continue my education after high school, I have a strong business acumen. In the previous life, Troy Xie was able to become a rising star in the business world, all thanks to me, his strategist. How did you know I took on a new project? Zane Pei took the proposal, his slender fingers flipping through a few pages. In the previous life, this project belonged to Troy Xie. At that time, I had just gone to his place, and he treated me very well. so I used my own plan to help him secure this project with the partner. But in this life, without me, I found out the project ended up with Zane Pei. I investigated it. I smiled faintly. Mr. Pei, I can help you with project planning proposals from now on. But on one condition: we must maintain a harmonious relationship within the Pei family, though privately we can each live our own lives. Zane Pei is a businessman who values benefits the most. I can bring him value, so he will surely be tempted. Just when I thought he would agree, he raised an eyebrow and looked at me. Got it, you want to team up with me in exchange for some stability, right? But did my mom not tell you that she didn't adopt a daughter, but was actually looking for a daughter-in-law? I know, so what do you mean? I looked at him with confusion. He smiled, closing the proposal. Your proposal is excellent. Once you marry me in the future, all your proposals will be mine. After saying that, he turned and left, and I'm still lost in what he just said. What does that mean? Is he interested in me? No way, he must have said that because he wants me to make plans for him for the rest of my life. When we walked into the hall, Pei's mother took my hand and introduced me to the elders. This is my future daughter-in-law. She has a great personality and is very beautiful. Everyone praised me one after another. Juno Lin stood beside Troy Xie, her eyes filled with gloom as she looked at me. She walked over with a wine glass in hand and looked at Mrs. Pei. Auntie, I heard that President Pei just returned to the country. I wonder if my sister has met him yet. Does he approve of this future wife? Last time at the orphanage, she hadn't made a good impression on Mother Pei to begin with. So much so that when Mother Pei heard her words, displeasure clouded her eyes. None of your damn business. Our family matters are none of your concern. Who do you think you are? Troy Xie's face turned pale upon hearing this. I'm sorry, Mrs. Pei, my sister is being immature. As soon as these words were spoken, no one noticed the flicker of gloom in his eyes. I had seen this look too many times in my previous life. Every time, it's the sign that my nightmare is about to begin. I took a step back in fear, only to accidentally bump into a warm embrace. Turning my head, I saw that it was actually Zane Pei. Be careful. His eyes were filled with laughter, and his voice was as gentle as water. Juno Lin in front of him was almost furious. She must be wondering why Zane Pei is treating me so well. President Pei, do you really like my sister? Do you know she's an orphan, and she was even assaulted before? Juno Lin's words silenced the entire room. While I was sleeping in the orphanage, a middle-aged man suddenly tore my clothes. He tried to assault me, but fortunately, I fought back with a vase. Afterward, Juno Lin spread rumors everywhere that I had been assaulted by this man. Then tell me, sister, guess who arranged for that man? It was at that moment I realized she had deliberately set me up. Thinking of this, I clenched my fists tightly. I was about to speak, but Zane Pei beat me to it. Is that so? He looked at Juno Lin. Juno Lin was extremely pleased with herself. Yes, Vera Lin was once slept with by an old man. Before she could finish her sentence, she was kicked flying by Zane Pei. Instantly, all eyes in the room were drawn over. Troy Xie looked utterly embarrassed. President Pei, please don't be angry. It's my fault for not disciplining my sister properly. If I ever hear her slandering my fiancé again, I'll make sure she can't stay in Jiangcheng any longer. Oh no. It should be that both your Xie family and her need to get out of Jiangcheng. Your sister really needs to be disciplined. Zane Pei's voice was frighteningly cold. Troy Xie quickly nodded and bowed. Mr. Pei is right. I'll go and teach her a lesson right away. Slap, slap, slap. Troy Xie immediately began slapping Juno Lin's face repeatedly from both sides. Ah, stop hitting me. It hurts so much. The entire hall was filled with Juno Lin's screams. Mother Pei also spoke up. I have decided on this daughter-in-law. From now on, remember her name is Vera Lin. If I hear anyone bullying her, I will return it tenfold. Feeling better now, Zane Pei held me and spoke softly. That was so satisfying. It really cleared up my chest congestion, because of the drama caused by Juno Lin. Zane Pei and I became much closer. Moreover, everyone knew I was the Pei family's daughter-in-law and treated me with great respect. As for Juno Lin, she was dragged away by Troy Xie, who was filled with anger. In the previous life, Troy Xie did not reveal his true nature at this time, but because of today's incident, which made him lose face, it accelerated the exposure of his true nature. I know that Juno Lin's nightmare is about to begin. I wonder if she can handle it. In the following days, Juno Lin did not bother me again. I also had time to earn money and then leave this city, because after being reborn, I came to understand a truth: relying on yourself is the way to go. But just when I was looking for a job, Zane Pei found me. He sent me a WeChat message: "Come help out at my company. I'll pay you 50,000 a month, plus a year-end bonus." That sounds great. I just happened to need a high-paying job. I went very willingly. However, on the way, someone suddenly covered my mouth. When I woke up again, I was in a public restroom. The floor was covered in slippery water stains and a foul odor. In front of me was the man who had almost assaulted me before. He grinned lewdly, revealing a set of yellow teeth. "Once I have my way with you, you won't be able to become the Pei family's wife. Oh, by the way, I forgot to tell you. I've already informed the Pei family to come over." I smiled and said, "It seems the vase last time didn't hit you hard enough." "What do you mean?" I got up from the ground and pulled out a gleaming knife from my pocket. "Do you think I'd fall for the same trick twice?" As I spoke, I slashed my arm hard, and blood immediately gushed out. I smeared it all over my body. At that moment, the door was pushed open. "President Pei, please don't hit my sister. She only sought out men because she was too lonely." Juno Lin froze when she saw me covered in blood. "Zane, he stabbed me. Am I going to die?" Tears instantly welled up in my eyes as I looked pitifully at Zane Pei. His face changed dramatically, and he scooped me up in his arms. Mrs. Pei, standing nearby, was so frightened that tears welled up in her eyes. "Vera, don't be afraid. We'll take you to the hospital." Meanwhile, Juno Lin stood frozen in place. As he passed by her, Zane Pei threatened, "You arranged this, didn't you? Just you wait." "No, Mr. Pei, it wasn't me." Juno Lin immediately knelt down to beg for mercy, but Zane Pei had already carried me away and left. After getting the wound bandaged at the hospital, Zane Pei tightly held my hand. "Don't take such risks again in the future. If there's any grudge, I can help you settle it." My heart tightened. So he knew I had done it on purpose. "How did you know?" "I know you too well. You could have resisted, but you didn't, which means you intentionally hurt yourself." I did learn judo in the previous term and had the ability to resist, but he and I have only met twice. And he already knows me so well. "Don't worry, no matter who hurt you, I will help you get revenge." I nodded and said nothing more. Last time, after Juno Lin was taken away by Troy Xie, I knew she wouldn't be able to resist seeking revenge on me. So, I've had someone following her all along. I discovered that she's in contact with that man and planning to harm me. So, I thought of turning the tables on her. The Pei family is a prestigious noble house, and they certainly won't just stand by and watch their future daughter-in-law get hurt without doing anything. That's why I deliberately hurt myself. I just wanted to use the Pei family's power to get back at Juno Lin and the Xie family. After all, I remember everything they did to me in my previous life. Troy Xie brought Juno Lin to apologize to me. They brought many gifts and knelt at the Pei family's doorstep. Juno Lin wore a mask, her eyes filled with defiance. Troy Xie slapped her directly. Staring, all you know is to stare at people. Do you believe I'll gouge your eyes out? If I had known it would be like this. We never should have adopted you in the first place. Juno Lin trembled with fear. Sorry, I won't glare anymore." Watching this scene from upstairs, I couldn't help but chuckle. Juno Lin probably never expected that even after stealing my life, she would still be tormented, because she didn't know that Troy Xie is a venomous snake, and the Xie parents only wanted to find a toy for this snake to play with, not to adopt a daughter. I still remember it very clearly, in my previous life. How miserably I was tortured. Juno Lin was wearing long sleeves and pants, with a mask on. It must have been to cover up the scars. I went down and opened the door. "Sis, what brings you here?" "Vera, your sister and I came to apologize to you. Please be lenient and forgive him. And let President Pei continue working with us. My family's company is on the verge of bankruptcy." Troy Xie looked at me pitifully. The sight of his face makes me utterly sick. How could I possibly accept an apology? "I don't accept it." "Vera Lin, don't be ungrateful." Juno Lin swallowed the rest of her words when she saw Zane Pei walk out. "Mr. Pei, I really didn't arrange for that man to be there on purpose that day. That man has already confessed at the police station. Are you sure you want to keep lying? Zane Pei raised an eyebrow and looked at her. She hurriedly apologized. I'm sorry, Mr. Pei. I was just confused for a moment. Then she looked at me, crying again. Sister, we're sisters after all. You're the bigger person. Please don't hold a grudge against me. Let me go. I yanked off her mask. Her face was covered in scars. I smiled faintly. Sister, seeing that you're not doing well puts my mind at ease. As soon as these words were spoken, the anger in her eyes flared up instantly, but with Zane Pei present, she didn't dare to explode. I've said it before, I won't be soft-hearted. She has harmed me, and I can't let it go. A week later, the Xie family company declared bankruptcy. In the previous life, their company thrived because of me. But in this life, it was ruined into bankruptcy by Juno Lin's great moves. I heard that Troy Xie has now completely revealed his true nature, beating Juno Lin every day, yet not letting her leave the Xie family, and I can work peacefully every day, earning a lot of money from Zane Pei. Zane Pei is nice to me now, but only because he appreciates my talent. He definitely doesn't really like me, so I plan to leave once I've earned enough money. But it seems like Zane Pei is serious about me, because that day, when I handed him the documents, he suddenly pulled me into an embrace. The wedding is scheduled for next month. Do you want to go try on wedding dresses? I was stunned. You're serious? Of course. He grabbed my hand and gently caressed it. From the moment I first saw you, I had it all planned out. Vera, I will treat you well. How is this different from Zane Pei from my previous life? But to rely on him for a stable life in the Pei family for the time being, I agreed. While trying on wedding dresses, I ran into Juno Lin. It's been a while since I last saw her, and she has lost a lot of weight. The wounds on her face have all healed. I noticed that she was wearing a tooth pendant necklace around her neck. I know exactly where this necklace came from, because in my previous life, I wore one too. At that time, Troy Xie tied me up in the basement and, without anesthesia, used pliers to forcibly pull out one of my molars. Then he strung it into a necklace and made me carry it with me at all times. Troy Xie pinched my chin and said she was willing to give up her tooth for me. So you all should too. The she he was referring to was his white moonlight, but she left him a few years ago, so the Xie family came to the orphanage to adopt a daughter, just to find a substitute for him to play with. Snapping back to reality, Juno Lin had already walked up to me. Little sister, what a coincidence. You're here to try on wedding dresses too. Oh, by the way, next week is Troy and my wedding. I hope you can come. Then she leaned in close to me and said very softly, don't think your little tricks can kill me. Your sister here is quite clever. Vera Lin, don't worry, I will definitely get my revenge. At that moment, Zane Pei came in, and she hurriedly left with Troy Xie. The Xie family company has started up again. Zane Pei said this as soon as he came in. Juno Lin's loan and Troy Xie's business are in another city. I can't manage things over there, but Vera, with just a word from you, I can pull some strings to target them and make them go bankrupt again. Of course, I knew she had taken out a loan to start a company. As for why I didn't intervene, it's because I knew Juno Lin's next target. I smiled and said, no need, I have my own way. 3 days later, Juno Lin and Troy Xie's company released a new product. It was exactly the same as the new product Zane Pei had intended to produce. Juno Lin was adopted into the Pei family in her previous life, so she naturally knew this product could make money. Moreover, they are releasing the product ahead of schedule now. We still can't sue them. Zane Pei approached me at this point. Vera, what are you planning to do now? I curled my lips into a smile. Of course, it's to ruin their reputation so they can never recover. But President Pei, this also counts as doing you a favor. You have to give me something in return. What do you want? 10 million. 10 million is enough for me to live a carefree life. Sure, help me out first, then we'll talk. I received a wedding invitation from Juno Lin. She also sent me a text. You must come, little sister. I've prepared a big surprise for you at the wedding. I immediately replied, is that so? I'm looking forward to it. I also prepared a big surprise for her. Zane Pei and I made our entrance together, drawing a lot of attention, when a reporter asked Zane Pei when we would get married. Juno Lin suddenly interrupted. Mr. Pei, I think you should wait to see the surprise I've prepared before answering this reporter. Juno Lin is always like this. arrogant and self-important. She can't wait to show off at the slightest opportunity, but this kind of behavior often ends up hurting her. Zane Pei surprisingly didn't argue with her, just pulled me aside and whispered in my ear, "I won't get involved, because I know you want to take revenge yourself. I'll step in only when you really need my help." I always feel like he might actually be in love with me, but then again, I think it's impossible. After entering, the wedding photos of Juno Lin and Troy Sier were being displayed on the big screen. Juno Lin stood on the stage, looking at me smugly. She mouthed to me, "You're finished." The next second, the wedding photo on the big screen behind her switched to a lovemaking video. The lewd voice reached everyone's ears. "Uncle Wang, be gentle, baby. Don't you like it?" The main characters are that old man who almost assaulted me before and Juno Lin. The entire room erupted in an uproar, and everyone stood up. Troy Sier slapped Juno Lin. "Bitch." The crown on Juno Lin's head was knocked off, and her makeup was smeared. She looked quite disheveled. She hurriedly explained, "Troy, let me explain. I know Troy Sier's temper all too well. He hates unclean women the most, I remember. He got so angry and hit his white moonlight just because she talked a few more words with another man, which led to their breakup. What's more, Juno Lin is now actually involved with another man." He seemed to grow angrier the more he thought about it, grabbing Juno Lin by the hair and kicking her repeatedly in the stomach. He kicked her until she was vomiting blood. The reporters were all frantically snapping photos. "Don't look." I covered Zane Pei's eyes. "This is my personal matter. It has nothing to do with you." Zane Pei pushed my hand away and stared at me intently. "Your business is my business, but in the future, I'd prefer to handle such matters myself. It's too brutal, too brutal." But I only used the wrongdoings Juno Lin herself committed to get back at her. She deserved it. Moreover, these acts of revenge are nothing compared to what she did to me in my previous life. Juno Lin was beaten to the brink of death. Lying on the stage, I walked over and wiped the blood from the corner of her mouth. "Sister, do you like the grand gift I prepared for you? Bitch, bitch, I'm going to kill you." Her voice suddenly turned sharp as she tried to rush over to hit me, but I was quickly shielded behind Zane Pei. Juno Lin immediately lost her momentum. "Boss Pei, I was just joking with my sister." After returning, the internet was flooded with news about Juno Lin hanging out with an older man. There was also a video of her at the wedding scene. Everyone was criticizing her. TSK, it's absolutely shocking that such a video was exposed at the wedding scene. A woman like this would have been drowned in a pig cage in ancient times. The Xie family is truly cursed to have such a daughter-in-law. I heard that Juno Lin was beaten black and blue by Troy Sier and thrown out of the house. Some netizens also posted a video of her angrily throwing stones at someone else's car, by accident. She ended up breaking the car, and the owner turned out to be someone not to be trifled with. The owner demanded immediate compensation, but she couldn't come up with a single penny and ended up getting beaten up. At this point, I posted another video online. It's a video of her and Troy Sier in the office. "We can only produce samples of the new product. What should we do if we don't have the funds for mass production?" Troy Sier questioned Juno Lin. Juno Lin smirked and said, "Then just collect the down payment first and run away, so we can flee abroad and live a good life. Troy, be good to me, and I will bring you endless wealth in the future." As soon as this video was posted, I heard that many partners rushed to Troy Sier's company, demanding refunds. Some people, with bad tempers, even took the lead in smashing their company. Then the police got involved to handle the matter. Now, the company is ruined, and Juno Lin is also ruined. She has lost everything. Of course, I knew she would end up this miserable. She took out a loan herself to help Troy Sier start the company, partly to please Troy Sier and use him to operate the business, and partly to try to make money with the new product. Even at a time like this, she is still thinking about getting revenge on me. She found the video from when I was pinned down on the bed by that old man at the orphanage. She plans to use it at the wedding to slander me, claiming my chastity was ruined. That way, the Pei family will no longer accept me as their daughter-in-law, but my people had long been keeping a close eye on all her actions. I originally just wanted to delete this video to prevent it from being played, but I never expected that my people would accidentally uncover that she had been with an older man, because only in this way would the older man obey her and come to rape me. I am no saint. if I have the chance for revenge, I will not let it slip, so. I had someone replace this video in advance. At the same time, I also received the video of the conversation between Juno Lin and Troy Sieh. Thus, a perfect plan was formed. Everything Juno Lin wanted to have, I destroyed. She must be feeling terrible. When will I get my 10 million? I went to the company and found Zane Pei. He smiled and said, "I'll give it to you after we get married. Otherwise, I'm afraid you'll run off with the money." My heart suddenly started racing. Because he had guessed exactly what I was thinking, he came over and wrapped his arm around my waist. "Vera, on our wedding day, I'll tell you a secret, then you can decide whether to leave or not." I couldn't refuse him, so I reluctantly agreed. After that, I kept having someone monitor Juno Lin's movements. She hasn't been completely removed yet. She's like a ticking time bomb, a constant threat to me. In the evening, I had a phone call with my people. They told me that Troy Sieh and Juno Lin got divorced, all the debts were pushed onto Juno Lin, and he and his family went to another city, but because I reported his murder to the police in time, he was arrested by them. In my previous life, I already knew that Troy Sieh had killed someone. I thought about calling the police, but every time he found out and dragged me back, beating me severely. Later, I was even forced to become his strategist, helping him become a rising star in the business world. In this life, I am finally free from his control. I am definitely going to seek revenge and won't let him off easy. That's why I called the police and told them he has a basement where he killed girls and stored their bodies. As for Juno Lin, she is being chased by debt collectors every day. Although she calls the police every time, those people always find loopholes and try to harm her. 2 days before Zane Pei and I were about to get married, Juno Lin suddenly came to see me. She has changed a lot now. Her hair was shaved off, and one of her front teeth was knocked out. I heard it was all done by the debt collectors. She glared at me fiercely. "Don't think I don't know you deliberately set me up. You don't want me to have it easy, do you? Let me tell you. I don't have to rely solely on the Sieh family. I have other ways. When the time comes, you'll be kneeling and calling me Mom." I didn't understand what she meant, but soon, I understood. A month later, it was Mr. Pei's birthday banquet. That day, Juno Lin came in wearing a wig and makeup, holding a pregnancy test report. "Where is old Pei?" She glanced around. "What are you here for?" Mother Pei gave her a displeased look. She sneered. "What do you think I'm doing? I have old Pei's child." As soon as these words were spoken, the entire room fell silent. Zane Pei looked at her and said, "Are you sure the child in your belly is my father's? He's already been with me. Who else could it be?" As she spoke, Juno Lin tossed out a stack of photos. They were all photos of her and a man in intimate moments. I took a glance and almost burst out laughing. "Sis, who told you this was the old Mr. Pei?" Mother Pei also covered her mouth and laughed. "You must have mistaken me for someone else." Juno Lin's face instantly turned pale. "No, it can't be. This is the old Mr. Pei. You just don't want to take responsibility, do you? Let me tell you, I've already called the reporters. Let them see the disgusting face of your Pei family." "Who said our Pei family is disgusting?" Old Mr. Pei suddenly walked out. He was completely different from the old Mr. Pei in the photo. "Dad," Zane Pei called out. Juno Lin froze completely. You're the real old Pei." "Then who is the person in the photo?" "I think I've seen you before. You're the girl who got drunk outside the bar, right? At that time, I wanted to have someone take you home, but a man took you away. I thought he was your father. As for the man in the photo, I don't know who he is either." Old Mr. Pei's words drained the color from Juno Lin's face. "No, it can't be. It just can't be." The reporters swarmed forward at this moment, surrounding Juno Lin. "Miss Lin, is your private life really this messy? First, an indecent video of you with someone else was exposed at the wedding, and now you're with another person. Miss Lin, are you trying to turn a wild chicken into a phoenix, thinking the person you're with is the old Mr. Pei?" Miss Lin, care to explain? But Juno Lin didn't say a word. After all, the photos were right there. No one knows who the father of the child in her belly is. In the end, she broke down and ran out. Juno Lin's current fate is her just desserts. Zane Pei suddenly spoke up from the side. "Actually, I noticed long ago that she was trying to seduce my dad. That time, she deliberately got drunk, fainted by my dad's car, and made some seductive moves. She thought she could seduce my dad that way. But my dad is just as devoted as I am, only ever committed to one woman in his life. I originally intended to kindly send her away, but a man ended up taking advantage of her while she was drunk. I hate her, and I chose not to save her. Why do you hate her too? Because she hurt you. Hearing this, my heart skipped a beat, and I pressed further, but he was unwilling to answer. Later, I found out that the child in Juno Lin's womb belonged to a gambler. Moreover, the gambler's wife went to find Juno Lin. She violently attacked her, called her a mistress, kicked her so hard that she lost the baby in her womb, and even blinded one of her eyes. In the end, the gambler's wife was detained. And she lost an eye and her uterus forever. If she hadn't chosen to approach old Mr. Pei in that way, she wouldn't have ended up like this. As Zane Pei said, this is her retribution, she deserves it. Later, I also went to see Juno Lin. She lives in a doghouse, her face covered in filth. Seeing me, she was so angry she gritted her teeth. It was you who did this to me, right, sister? You brought this upon yourself. I never harmed you. I looked at her and waved the chicken leg in my hand. I knew she hadn't had a full meal in a long time. Sure enough, I saw her swallow hard. I laughed and said, "Want some? Apologize to me if you want to eat." "Why should I apologize to you?" "Because you strangled me in your previous life." Upon hearing this, a look of terror appeared on her face. You've been reborn too. You can't be a ghost, can you?" She shrank back in fear. "Sister, so you can be scared too. Why were you so decisive when you choked me?" She trembled all over, unable to utter a word. In the end, I never got that apology. I didn't give her the chicken leg either. Instead, I threw it in the trash. My wedding with Zane Pei is coming soon. The wedding is grand. In my heart, I was already prepared to take the 10 million and run. But after the wedding, what he said made me change my mind. "Vera, do you believe in past lives?" I looked at him in disbelief. "Have you been reborn too?" He smiled and said, "Yes, the moment I first saw you, I knew you had been reborn too." At that time, I thought to myself, this time I must protect you well. Why do you want to protect me? Do you remember saving a boy back in middle school? I suddenly remembered that I did save a boy from the river back then, because I am very good at swimming. I was able to save him successfully. That boy was handsome and dressed expensively, so it left a deep impression on me. "Are you that boy?" He nodded. "Yes." At that moment, I swore in my heart that I would marry you. However, I was taken away by my family, so I kept studying hard, hoping to come find you when I grew up. From Zane Pei, I learned that he had been searching for me for many, many years, until one time, when he heard I was abroad, he went overseas. So when I was adopted, he was not present. Later, when he found out where I had gone, he discovered I had been taken in by the Xie family I've adopted. And it seems that Troy Xie and I have a good relationship. He was very sad and numbed himself with work all day. At this time, he accidentally heard that Juno Lin wanted to harm me, so in a fit of anger, he told her to get lost at the banquet, and he got a lot of people to target her. Later on, I married Troy Xie. He thought I liked Troy Xie, but unexpectedly, I passed away not long after. He found out that I was strangled by Juno Lin. Evidence of Troy Xie abusing me was also discovered. So he began his revenge, eventually putting Juno Lin and Troy Xie in prison, and he also died for love of me. But fortunately, heaven gave us a chance to be reborn. Vera, I know you want to seek revenge in your own way, so I've never interfered with your affairs. I've just been silently watching over you. My eyes turned red. I never imagined that there was a boy who had a crush on me for so long and had done so much for me. "Are you still going to leave now?" I immediately hugged him. "No. I'm not leaving. From now on, let's be together properly." After crossing an entire lifetime, we have finally come together. The next time I saw Juno Lin was in the news about her arrest and imprisonment. She had killed the Xie parents, and the reporter said it was because she held a grudge after being abused. Now, both she and Troy Xie have been sentenced to death. I went to see Troy Xie first, bringing along his former unattainable love, Shen Xiao. We had already been in contact a month ago, and she just returned to the country today. Although Troy Xie is about to be executed, but I want to make him suffer one last time before he dies. Seeing Shen Xiao behind me, Troy Xie was stunned at first, then his eyes suddenly reddened. Xiao Xiao, you're back, don't worry. My parents will get me out of prison soon, and then we can start over. Shen Xiao Xiao looked at him with disappointment. I heard you hurt many girls because of me. Troy Xie, you're no longer the sunny boy I once loved. You're scaring me right now. No, Xiao Xiao, let me explain. There's no need to explain. I hope you'll be a better person in your next life, and I'm going to start my new life too. Forgot to tell you, I'm pregnant, and I have a husband now. After speaking, Shen Xiao left, behind the glass. Troy Xie looked utterly distraught. No, I went to see Juno Lin again. She was surprisingly calm when she saw me. One more time, and I will definitely beat you. Just wait, Vera Lin. I'm about to be reborn again soon. Even after being reborn in a new life, she is still this foolish enough to think everything is so simple. Juno Lin, do you think the heavens will give you another chance? Dream on. After saying that, I left. When I got back, Zane Pei had just finished cooking and called out to me with a smile. Honey, wash your hands and come eat. Alright, I once said, I don't create unfinished poetry collections. I aim to be the most shocking chapter in a banned book. Now I have achieved it.